Hey guys, I'm not Dan. I know you're expecting to see him, but I think you've seen a few videos so far of other people coming on the channel, and you see that Dan is just being a lazy bum. Now, it's been pointed out that Dan likes his cigars, Dan likes his food, and Dan likes his beers. So he's finding time to go shopping and get all those things. He's finding time to consume them and post pictures of himself. But he can't find time to make a video for us. But anyway, he asked me to step in and talk to you guys. And I think I'm going to talk to you from at least a sort of unique perspective. What I want to talk to you guys about is training while being obese. And also getting a little bit of my low testosterone that I've been dealing with in the TRT. I thought of kind of 4 distinctives that I had to put into place or even overcome in order for me to begin to be healthy even while being obese. And if you guys don't know, you probably don't follow my channel, I don't even think I introduced myself. Khaleef, Fat Guy Skinny Wally. If I did, I said it twice. I am 5'6", and I was about 300 pounds. Probably more, but I wasn't weighing myself every day, especially back then. So, what was the first thing that I had to do? I was approaching this purely as an extremely fat person who just needed to lose some weight in whatever way possible. So the first thing I had to do was shake off all these myths. As you guys know, the diet industry and the weight loss industry makes billions of dollars a year off of the ignorance of people who are like me. That we believe low carb is the answer. I once went on a diet where I ate 20 grams of carbs a day, and then bumped it up to between 40 and 60, and that was supposed to be what I was supposed to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. So you can see how things like that and all the other things out there, it's hard to get me to fall for some of those, but if something gets repeated often enough, especially by so-called experts or medical professionals, you tend to believe it. I love to research. My degree is in a research-related field, and I love doing it. So once I began to research, I realized that a lot of the things I thought about nutrition, and then later on, a lot of the things that I thought about anatomy and physiology, how the body actually worked, and how our muscles and joints were connected, and how and what the interplay was between them. Before I learned that stuff, I could fall for almost anything. So anyway, I had to overcome that. I had to overcome and shake off all the myths. Start researching for myself and realize that this is more of an exact science than we're led to believe. And it's much more simple than we're led to believe. Second, I had to realize that it was more mental than physical. For me, once I said, okay, I need to lose weight, and I got serious about it, I just said, okay, I'm going to go all out. I met up with a friend of mine who was actually training for the Navy SEALs. He was in the Marines. He wanted to go to Navy SEALs. He was the Golden Gloves champion for New Jersey. So he would train for that. Then he would go do his boxing. And this guy was just phenomenal in his working out and everything. And so we worked out together a few times. I felt like I was going to die, but that was it. I just said, you know what? I'm going to try my best to keep up with you. At almost 300 pounds. I'm going to try my best to keep up with you, and that's how I'm going to lose the weight, and I'm just going to eat, just a little bit of calories, and that was it. And I didn't realize, and that was more than 2 years ago, I didn't realize that it was such a mental battle. See, I struggle with what I'm going to call, and what a lot of people will call, a food addiction. And I didn't believe that existed before until I started trying to lose weight. So, why I say that is because the way that I act towards food, the way that my mind behaves, is a lot like the way I've seen tons of addicts in my life and my family, my friends, people I grew up with. And it's the same mentality. It's the same mentality where you set up a border and you say, I'm not going to cross this. And once that thought of getting the pleasure from that thing comes into your mind, you go after it and you abandon everything that you set up. You lose sight of all of your values and you go after that one thing. I did that with food. The only difference is food is something that you can have and people won't question. If you have a lot of alcohol, people will question that. If you have a lot of, if you have illegal narcotics, people will question that, of course. So, it's easier to get away with it and it's harder to detect a dependence on food. an abnormal obsession with the pleasure that food brings. So I had that. So I had to overcome this battle in my mind. It wasn't just physical. I would go out and LT Rob, who made a video earlier this week on this channel, talked about how working out is how eating is so much more important, because you can work out. I would work out and burn 2,000 calories. I would work out for an hour and a half, 2 hours doing crazy stuff, and then I would go run for an hour and a half, and then I would eat up everything that I burned and pretty much did nothing. And it's like, well, I wasted the last 3 hours working out because it just supported 1 or 2 meals because I just snapped and binged. So yeah, I had to deal with that as well. I'm still working on things in my mind. So I had to realize it's more mental than physical, even the mental toughness that comes. Doing a crazy workout and wanting to vomit at the end, that was perfectly easy for me. But the discipline that it took was difficult, and it still is something I'm fighting with. I also had to find internal and external motivation. My biggest motivation came from God, of course. People who follow me on my channel know that I'm a Christian. Know I believe, I stand on what the Bible says. And one of the things that stuck out to me is a short passage in 1 Corinthians 6, where Paul says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not profitable. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be mastered by anything. And I just kept thinking about that. Like, I'm letting food master me. I'm letting the love of pleasure and leisure master me when I was lazy and didn't want to work out. And I didn't want to do that. And of course, we have to be mindful of that in any arena. Even if you're not a Christian, whether you follow another religion or you don't have one at all, you don't want something else to be in control of you. You want to be in control, and you want to make a wise decision. If you want to indulge in something, make this wise decision to do it. Don't be carried because something is controlling you. My wife, I wanted to be healthy for my wife. I wanted to be strong for my wife. I wanted her to be confident being around me, that I would not fall and pass out somewhere because I'm so out of shape. And then physically, I just wanted to be strong for myself, and I fell in love with weightlifting and then powerlifting. So that's ultimately what I want to do. And also the testosterone replacement therapy. And this video is getting long, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with that. I actually have a testosterone replacement therapy playlist on my channel. But basically, my testosterone dropped down to, I think, in the 120s. And it's in the 400s now. It's in the kind of low to mid 400s. So I'm doing this every day, and my endocrinologist said, you're doing everything. I'm taking zinc, taking vitamin D. Those levels are fine. I'm in the gym, lifting weights. I'm doing everything that I can do. And he said the only thing you can do now is continue to lose weight. And he said it may have actually come from how quickly I lost the weight to begin with. I don't know. And the last thing is I had to put myself out there. I had to let other people know what my goals were. It was very important for me. I have a lot of people watching me in my personal life and a lot of people online. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and I have a blog. I am in all of those places because I have different people watching me, and if I slip up or if I just go a couple of days or weeks without an update or what's going on, people are going to question. If people look at me eating something, sometimes it gets a little annoying, but hey, I want people to be there questioning me. I want people calling me out, at least in a way that shows, hey, we know you have goals, and if we see you doing something that's going to push you away from the goals, we're going to say something to try to get you back on track. And that's what I really needed, because it's not just about me, because we can always extend dates in our mind. But if we tell people this is what I want to do, then people are saying, hey, I tell people I want to be a power lifter. I want to deadlift, ultimately be able to deadlift 700 pounds. I want to squat, 630 to 650. And I want to be able to bench 450 to 500. So if those are the goals that I have in mind, and people say, hey, how's the gym going? Man, I haven't been to the gym since December. Then there's a problem with that. And I need people being there, calling me out. And the other thing with that is I've been able to motivate so many of my friends and family members into getting healthy by doing that. And that encourages and pushes me even more. So it's been hard to weight train and to work on powerlifting while being obese because, strength or losing weight, I always have to juggle the two. But following those 4 things, shaking off the myths and just, researching things and following the things that have been tested and tried and I know are true, realizing that it's more mental than physical, finding the internal and external motivations that would drive me, and putting myself out there and letting people know what my goals are and putting them in a position where they can hold me accountable. Alright, that's it. I've taken up enough of your time. If you're still watching, thank you. And you can come check my channel if you want. And Dan, thank you for giving me this opportunity and letting me fill in while you were feeling a little lazy. And, thank you all, and stay tuned for more.